This is Scott the Fix-It Guy. Today we have a Miele dryer that the start button doesn't work. When you press in the start button, it works, but then when you let go, it turns off. It's supposed to stay in when you press in the button, so we're going to be replacing that button. Pretty easy to do on this model. I'm going to open the door, make sure we have it unplugged. Then we're going to remove these 4 screws. And once those screws are removed, there's a couple of catches on the left-hand side at the top and at the bottom. And once you pry those catches off, the whole front assembly swings out. It's on a hinge, comes out towards you like a door opening. So the same way the dryer door opens, the whole front panel opens and allows you to do all kinds of maintenance things and cleaning. And in this case, we're going to be putting a new start switch in. So I'm going to pry up on this catch at the top with a standard head screwdriver. You can see how it releases. I'm going to pry down the one at the bottom, and then I can grab the whole door and pull it toward me. So we're going to get that one loose and get the bottom one loose and then pull towards you. It may take a little trial and error until you get that for both of them to release, but then the whole thing will hinge out towards you, and then you'll have good access to the part. It's also not that hard to change the belt on these. These Miele belts last a long time, but if you ever have to change it, this is kind of the way you do it. So up here we'll find our start button, and I wasn't able to turn off the power, so I'm going to be breaking the power connection right here. You don't have to do this normally, but I just had to take off the power that was going into the starter switch. I'm taking out 2 Phillips head screws that are holding it in, and then I'll simply just be taking the wires off the old one and putting them on the new one. Maybe you get to take a photograph with your digital phone of how the wires were on the old start switch. Another way you can do it is you can take them off one by one off the old one and then put them on the new one, and then go to the next wire, next wire, next wire until you're done. Taking a picture might be good because sometimes when you pull a wire off of a switch like this, another wire may fall off and you may not remember where it went. So picture's probably the best way. And then once you have all the wires switched over, we're just going to push the switch back into the door assembly and then add those 2 Phillips head screws. And then we're pretty much done. You can just hinge the door back, put the 4 screws that hold it into position. These are really good dryers. They last a long time. When you have the door open, you can also do a little cleaning of accumulated lint. So all dryers just tend to build up lint inside the cabinet over time. So I did disconnect that power supply, so I'm just pushing that back up before I close it up. And if you ever want to put a new belt on, there's 4 screws you have to remove from the manifold that's kind of holding the tumbler in position. You can take that off, and then you can be able to take off the old belt and slip a new belt up on. But the belts, again, are really tough compared to most dryers. I would say twice as thick. They really engineer these to last a long time. So these are the screws that you would remove if you had to take the manifold off. There we go. And we're just going to close it up and put those screws, we'll open the door and put the screws back in the front that hold the front panel on. I had kind of removed the top just to show you how that latch works, but you don't have to remove the top to do these procedures. You can just pry up that upper catch. And we're just putting those screws back in that hold it on. There's the model number for this model. So most of these Miele dryers, regardless of the model number, have the same really cool setup where you can open the door to get to all these parts, or open up the front panel. It's really neat. Hope this has been helpful to you, and please subscribe to our channel when you get a chance. Thanks so much for watching.